Greetings, wonderful people of YouTube. I'm back again with another video, and I'm doing a Jets preview today. I wanted to preference this video by saying I'm sorry I haven't uploaded in I think 4 days. I don't want to not upload for you guys. I love uploading videos for you guys. I love doing videos. I've just been dealing with a concussion, and the weekend I was feeling horrible. I didn't even really get out of bed the whole weekend, so I'm really sorry about that, guys. I will try and get back on this grind. I'm going on vacation soon. I'm going on vacation. I'm leaving Saturday, so I'm gonna pre-record 3 videos, so you have a video every other day. Because if I didn't do that, I would have to make like 14 videos or some shit. I would be up to like 5 in the morning every night. So I'm sorry, but like I said, thank you. I want to say I have the Jets finishing 6th in the division. Now, don't get mad at me, Jets fans. I'll explain why. This team is a super good team. It just happens to be that they're in the Central Division. The Jets may have the best first line in hockey, and I love that line. With Ehlers, Scheifele, and Laine. Love that line. If the Jets were in the Pacific Division, they'd be in the playoffs 100%. But they're not in the Pacific Division. The Jets can roll 4 lines, and any line can score and hurt you. The Jets' defense is where they slack a little bit. There's a bunch of question marks regarding the defense, like I said. This team, in my opinion, needs a veteran forward up front, and there's a player in free agency. I don't know if you guys heard of him, but he's kind of a good Russian. His name is Jaromir Jagr, and he can still score 20 goals for you. Wouldn't hurt. I like the addition of Steve Mason, but he's very inconsistent. Connor Hellebuyck isn't a starter, and he can't deal with the pressure. For once in this preview, I want to be 100% completely wrong with this prediction. I want to see the Jets make the playoffs. I would love to see it, and this team is good enough to make the playoffs. If your star players are going to be better this year, this team could make a run for the playoffs, and this could be a really scary lineup. Excuse me. The offense can carry your team to the playoffs and maybe do something in the first round. I believe that could happen. At the trade deadline, I would like to see them ship off someone and improve their top 4, or even now, as I'm recording this. That'd be nice. Let's take a look at this scary lineup. I love the playmaking and pure skill that Nikolai Ehlers brings to this lineup. Last season, playing with Laine, he put up 25 goals and 39 assists. And this season, I could see him scoring 30 goals, 40, 45 assists. And he's in a contract year, and I believe he's going to get paid big next year, somewhere in the range of, I think, like 6 years, 7-8 mil per year. I think that he'll get on age. I think he's worth it, in my opinion. I love the Jets' first-line center, Mark Scheifele, and I also love the playmaking ability he brings to his team. Last year, he scored 79 games. He had 32 goals and 50 assists, and I think he gets around the same this year, and this is excellent out of your first-line center. Now, the next popular debate for a long time to come in the NHL will be Laine versus Matthews. Now, I'm not saying these players will become this, but I can compare it to the Crosby versus Ovi argument, like who's better. I love the shot and pure goal-scoring abilities he brings to his team. And he reminds me of Tarasenko in a way. Just a pure skill, speed, and his shot. It's uncanny, and it's really good. Last season, he scored 36 goals and 20 assists. If he gets 40 to 45 goals this season, this team can easily make the playoffs. That wouldn't surprise me one bit. Now your second line left winger is Matthew Perreault, and he is an okay second liner. Last season, he had in 65 games, he had 13 goals and 32 assists. And I believe he gets around the same. The past few years, he has hovered around and in the 40-point range. And this offseason, he signed a 4-year, $4.125 mil per year contract. A little much. I would like to see him make $3 million, but it's not a contract that will hurt you. Also, your second line center 2 or 3 days ago signed a 6-year, $5.291 mil per year contract in Brian Little, and this is that's a reasonable contract for what he brings to this team as a second line center. And last season he scored in 59 games, 21 goals and 26 assists. So that's not bad, 47 points. I like the two-way game he brings to the table. And if he stays healthy, I think he can score 30 goals and 30 assists. That would be a good season for him. I love the leadership capabilities that Blake Wheeler brings to your locker room. As your captain, last year he scored 26 goals and 48 assists. And I love the power forward type play he brings to this team. I just like overall like what he brings to the table. Now, I like Sean Matthias as a player. And last year he scored 14 goals and 9 assists. And think he probably gets around the same amount of points this year. And he's in a contract year. I think this may be his only year in Winnipeg. Just because you can easily find a third line player that would be better in free agency. Maybe cheaper, so you have to save money for when in 2 years Patrick Laine's contract's up. You know, that big one is going to get paid big. That's going to be a huge contract. Patrick Laine's. I can't even fathom what he's going to get. I like the physical play your third line center Adam Lowry brings to the table. And he can play good on power play and penalty kill. And last year he scored 15 goals and 14 assists, and he's in a contract year. I think he gets a raise, probably makes 2.5 to 3 mil. He's worth that in my opinion. I like the playmaking abilities that Joel Armia brings to the third line. And last year, in 57 games, he scored 10 goals and 9 assists. And he's also on a contract here, and I can see him easily making 2 mil per season. And I think he's a solid all-around player. Your fourth line is filled with young players, and it starts with your fourth line left winger and Andrew Kopp, who is 23, and I like the power forward game he brings to his team. And last season, he scored in 64 games, 9 goals, and 8 assists for 17 points. That's good points from your fourth liner. I'm really curious to see what Jack Roslovic brings to this team, and he's only 20. And last year in the AHL, in 65 games, he scored 13 goals, 35 assists for 48 points for Manitoba. He is a big wild card in terms of what he can bring to the team. I don't know what he brings to the table. I love the potential offensive upside that Kyle Connor brings to the team. Last season, he scored in 52 games in the AHL, 25 goals and 19 assists for 44 points. And I want to see what he can bring in the NHL, not AHL. I want to see what we can get in the AHL. I said it again. I want to see what we can get in the NHL this year. My apologies. I have some question marks about this top four, and you have some bad contracts, but they do expire at the end of the season. I absolutely despise Tobias Emstrom in your top two, but thankfully his contract expires at the end of the season, and you can say goodbye to this trash can. And last season, in 60 games, he scored 1 goal and 13 assists for 14 points. He got those 13 assists because he's playing with Dustin Byfuglien. I love Big Buff, Dustin Byfuglien. Byfuglien? Yeah, I'm pretty sure how you say it. As your top two defenseman, he is an all-around great player. And last season, he scored in 80 games. He scored 13 goals and 39 assists and scored 42 points. And he's a great quarterback on the power play unit. I absolutely despise the signing of Dmitry Kulikov. And in free agency, the Jets signed him to a 3-year, $4.33 mil per year deal. And I just don't like the play he brings to the table. Last season, he scored in 47 games, 2 goals and 3 assists for 5 points. That's not acceptable for the money the Jets brought him in for. I still think Jacob Trouba hasn't reached the potential that everyone says he had when he was drafted in the first round. Last season, he scored in 60 games, 8 goals, and 25 assists. It's a very good season at your top 4 defenseman. And I think he can get 10 goals and like 30 assists. That'd be a great season for him. I still like the upside of Josh Morrissey's game. And last season, he scored 6 goals and 14 assists for 20 points. And I think he will get around the same this year. And he's also on a contract here. And I believe he wants his big NHL contract. And I like it what he brings on the PK. Your last defenseman is someone I like, and he has a big body and great two-way defender. He just needs to stay healthy. At 6'8", 229, I love the play Tyler Myers brings. He had 11 games, 2 goals and 3 assists, which he is capable of so much more, and it shows in his stats, but he only stayed healthy for 11 games. That's not good. I like the addition of Steve Mason as your starter. Excuse me. Yeah, I think he is going to start around 50 to 55 games this season. And I watched a lot of him in Philly, and he is a really inconsistent goalie. You don't know what you're going to get. The rookie season Steve Mason, or the 5 goals against Steve Mason from the previous night. And I like what he brings to the locker room. I like him as a person, but he's not the best goalie. But maybe he'll turn around in Philly, or not Philly, in Winnipeg. You don't know. And the Jets signed a good contract for 2 years, $4.1 billion per year. That's a great contract for your starter. And last season in Philly, he had 9.08 save percentage and 2.66 GA. He is better than that, and he was playing behind a bad defense in Philly. I never liked Connor Hellebuyck as a starter, but he is a great backup, and last season he had a 9.07 save percentage, and he had 2.9 goals against. And he's also on a contract year, and I can see him making $3 million, but I think he'll do well as a backup. Like I said before, sorry for this. I want to say sorry to each and every one of you. You guys mean so much to me. It's cool that I have subscribers, and I don't want to let you guys down at all. I'm sorry, but like I said, I haven't been feeling well. I'm going to try and pump out daily content. So, just check back, and thanks for coming back after this break. It means a lot. And I'm either going to do the Blues or Predators tomorrow. Let me know what I should do down in the comments down below. And I'm out, guys. Peace. Have a good day.